Hi, I'm Livy from Livy Says, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use an eyebrow tinting kit. So the eyebrow tinting kit that I'll be using is one by Ilia, and this is the Dye Lash in dark brown. Depending on your natural hair colour, you'll want to go with different shades. If you are lighter, like blonde or strawberry blonde or red, you're going to want to leave this on for much less time than if you have darker hair. Now, these kits come with two essential pieces. You have the cream colour and the activating solution, and you need to mix about 1 centimetre of the cream colour with about 5 drops of the activating solution. The kit does come with a little mixing tray, or as I like to call it, the mixing tray, because it looks like a mixing tray, and you just pop it into this little piece right here. If you don't have a ruler to hand, you can use your fingernails as a guide, so maybe about 3/4 of a fingernail would be about 1 centimetre, so you can usually just determine it side by side. There we go, about that much. And if you just leave that in the bottom there for a second, and be quite careful with the activating solution because they do tend to come out quite quickly. About that much, about 5 drops. So it should look like so. And you can use the end of the spoolie or the mixing spatula that comes with the kit to mix. I'm just going to use the end of the spoolie and just mix it together. This is quite a laborious process and takes quite a bit of time, so be patient with it. Now, before you apply this, you are going to want to take a few steps to protect your skin, and you're going to want to put on some moisturiser just because you don't want any of the dye to stick to your skin, and you're also going to want to put a bit of Vaseline or some other equivalent petroleum jelly around the outside of your eyebrows because this dye will stick to your skin like nobody's business. It won't come off. The moisturiser that I use is by Pond's. It's about £3.99 at Boots. Really, really, really good. And I'm actually just going to put a little of that on my eye area just in case any of the dye goes awry. Just going to rub that in. Make sure you don't put it anywhere near your actual eyebrow hairs, however, because you don't want the dye to slip off the hairs when you apply it. You need them to be dry. And don't worry too much about rubbing the moisturiser in, because ideally you just want it to sit there to act as a protective barrier. I'm just going to put a little Vaseline over the top, just above where my natural eyebrow line is. When you are dyeing your eyebrows, the hairs you really want to catch are the finer, lighter hairs, which are usually the ones at the very edge and at the very front. Those are the ones that give you the most definition and give your eyebrows more structure. You are going to need a handheld mirror to do this, just in case you make any sort of mess. Don't try and do it into a bathroom mirror. You're going to need one that's got either a magnifying side or just one that's nice and close. So you're going to want to get the spoolie is the little brush applicator, into the solution, mix that round a little and try and make sure that you get the solution through both the end of the brush and the midsection, because you don't want to have a load of product packed in at the end if you're trying to use the whole brush to apply the solution to your eyebrows. And you can usually see where you need to start. I like to start at the front simply because if I want those ones to be darker, I want to leave the solution on for a little longer because those are usually my lighter hairs. So I'm just going to pull that through the hairs. Try to avoid pushing this onto your skin. Like I said before, if you can avoid staining your skin, do it. So as you can see, I'm really pushing this in right to the very, very small hairs that just need a little bit more colour than the other ones. And you can use this in a similar way that you would use brow setting gel. Do comb it in the direction that your hairs grow, if that's easier for you. I'm going to repeat the same process on the other eyebrow. If you've plucked your eyebrows in the last 72 hours, you are advised not to use this product. Just make sure you leave about 24 hours after plucking before applying the product, just in case of any burns or any deep set dye in any open pores. Wicked. And now you just have to leave it on for the recommended time. Like I said earlier, if you have blonde hair, try not to leave it on for too long, maybe 5 minutes. If you have darker hair like me, mine's about a chestnutty colour, so I'm going to leave it on for about 7 to 8 minutes, not the full 10, because otherwise they may go very, very dark brown and look quite obvious against my natural hair colour. The waiting game. So I've left the solution on now. I've left mine on for about 7-ish minutes. So I'm just using a regular makeup cleansing wipe and just taking the solution off gently. Try not to rub it too much, but you can usually tell by the cleansing wipe if you've still got solution left on there. So be prepared to take a bit of time just really trying to get the solution off, because sometimes it can be quite stubborn. And that is how you use an eyebrow tinting kit.